Well, good morning. We're keeping it real this morning. I thought, I haven't even tidied my desk from yesterday, let alone starting going live this morning. But I thought I'll come on anyway, and I can be chatting to you while I'm clearing a space in order for us to do some crafting this morning. So my name is Helen Jennings. I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator based here in the UK. And it is my normal custom to come on a Monday and a Friday and do some crafting with you. This week's been slightly different. It was a bank holiday on Monday, and because I'd been attending the Leaders Summit over the weekend, which was a virtual event that was being hosted in the US, so it meant that for us here in the UK it sort of was starting at 7 in the evening and finishing at about 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. And it meant I'd not had very much sleep over the weekend, and being a bank holiday as well, I didn't come in on Monday, but I was determined to come in today, because next week I've got, morning Caroline, is my week off. So I only ever physically book, or have historically in the last few years only ever physically booked 1 week off a year, and next week is it. So obviously that means I've got lots of things to do to make sure that there's plenty to keep everybody occupied for the week that I'm not here coming on live and things. So lots of videos and things to do, and hence the madness on my desk. So we're not going to be playing with lots of these things. The peonies are because I've been doing some videos and things for the Lily Pad Stamp Club, and I've got a couple more to do to go out next week, so that's another job for this morning. It's sort of back-to-back recording videos today, so let's just pop those safely to one side so I've got them for a bit later. Yeah, I think we've nearly cleared a space, because I thought what we would play with this morning is the poinsettias. I have sent a class out this week featuring the poinsettias, and I've had such a lovely time playing with this set. It's almost like, yeah, well, it's Christmas poinsettias, but it is such an incredibly versatile set, and so much that you can do with it, and so many different sorts of poinsettias and techniques, and yeah, the list is just endless. It is a great little bundle. It's a big bundle. There's a lot of stamps, there's a lot of dies, but if you haven't got it, then yeah, you might want to get it. You might want to add it. You might be like me and thinking, oh, you know, well, it's poinsettias, same old. But actually it is a poinsettia set with knobs on. So we're going to have a play with that today. Let me just find the dies. Hopefully, yes, poinsettia dies. I'm even getting that. I've done so many things with that. Oh no. Oh, it's such a worry, Karen. Backwards and forwards with Mum. Yeah. They are beautiful, Beryl. Poinsettias are beautiful. Beryl was one of the people that had the class. Let me give you a quick sneaky peek, she says, of what I was doing with the poinsettias. So this Christmas in a Box class has got 6 cards in it, so you can heat emboss them, You've got little ones there that you could add some sponging to. You can watercolour them. You've got the flocked paper that you can sponge. You can keep it quite simple, but you've got this embossed elements on these leaves, and you've got the embossed elements on the flower as well. So yes, so much you can do with this set. So it was great fun putting together that class, so I thought we'd carry on having fun with it this morning. So one of the things I need actually is, oh, I seem to have got my microphone wire. Looks like I've been knitting with it. I really haven't. What I want is, oh, where have my all over post-it notes gone? Oh, we'll just grab a standard one for now. We do need a post-it note because we're going to do some masking. The other things that I wanted to say before we get really tucked into our crafting is that with the beginning of a new morning, Linda, beginning of a new month, and there's so much going on this month. So the stamping, cut and emboss machine is now available to everyone. I myself haven't got one yet, but the people that I've seen that have got them are raving about them and saying how good they are. So I've not seen a bad word said. Everybody is saying how good they are, so certainly worth looking at if you're looking for a new die cutting machine. So this is the standard size one. We're still waiting for dates on the mini one, but also, as well as the machine being available, the magnetic plate that goes with it, morning Em, morning Janice, is now also available. So that's good news. The other thing is that there is a starter kit promotion running at the moment, and I'm just looking around to see if I can see the stamp sets. So if you sign up for a starter kit currently, you will get your standard, as you always do, £130 worth of product of your choice for £99, so always a bargain. You always get a good deal with your starter kit, but currently there is do you know, dear oh dear, I might have cleared the space in front of me, but I've not cleared the space around me. You currently get 2 free stamp sets, a pack of rhinestones, and some card packs, and you get 16 packs that you can either make up yourself or that you can get people together and do some card making together. So well, ladies, I don't know, and any gents that happen to be watching, the stamp sets have arrived. They are in the building. Aha, they're here. So the stamp sets that you get free at the moment with this promotion are the So Much Love stamp set, a great little stamp set for colouring in. You could watercolour it, use your pens, yeah, lots of things you could do with that, emboss it. So you've got the So Much Love stamp set, and you've got the Queen Anne's lace stamp set. I love this stamp set. It is a 2-step stamp set. So you've got the outline stamp, and then you've got the infilly bits just there so that you can colour them in. I love the font on those greetings. So hello friend, celebrating all the wonderful things about you. You made my day. So a couple of really lovely stamp sets. So you get both of those free. So your £99 will get you your £130 worth of product of your choice, 2 stamp sets, a pack of our rhinestones, and then, as I say, you get these card packs, and I will put together somewhere a little demonstration of the sorts of things you get in the card pack. So you get all the cardstock and an envelope to make up a card. You can also get instructions for how Stampin' Up designers have done their card, and you get 16 of those, I believe. But I will double check that. You see, I've had such a busy week. My head is just buzzing. I've not even had time to put together lots of information about those offers. But the offer runs all through September. So if you want to become a happy shopper, if you want to get your 20% discount on everything you buy going forward, then you want to join the family. And if you want to join the family, now's a good time, because you get lots of extra freebies. Right, back to poinsettias. This beautiful suite of product. So you get a gorgeous pack of papers, you've got a die set and stamp set. As I say, it's a really big stamp set and a really big die set. There's also these papers, these plush, let me grab those, plush speciality poinsettia papers. So these are, you need Feely Vision for these. As you can see, I've been chopping into mine because you can die cut these. So it is a vellum, but with like this flocking on the top in these patterns. So you've got the poinsettia, you've got the leaves and the foliage one just here, and the other one is this sort of scrolly pattern. So you get 2 sheets of each of those, and they are beautiful. So you can sponge them to add colour to them, you can use them as backgrounds. They are beautiful, and they are furry, and they are tactile. So that's the speciality poinsettia papers. My actual DSP pack is starting to dwindle. We've used lots of it, but again, really lovely. I love that holly print. And you've got these sort of berries, this foliage, a nice wood grain. You've got the little pine cones and some poinsettias on the back of there. You've got your pine boughs on there, and there's some pine cones on the back there. This is another poinsettia, so you've got this smaller poinsettia and then this bigger pattern here, and on the back there you've got like some, looks like sort of mistletoe. Is that all of those packs? Oh, and this green with a scrolly pattern on the back. So really lovely paper, lovely colourway. So ordinary DSP, speciality DSP, the poinsettia bundle with the stamps and the dies. You've got this real red sheer ribbon. It's a lovely zing. And then let's see if I can spot them. I popped them back in here the other day, so they can't be too far away. We have Rustle, Rustle, Rustle. We have these pearly centres for the poinsettias that are just beautiful. Which obviously I can't see because that would be altogether too useful. So they're a really heavy embellishment that sits in the middle of your poinsettias. Which are not showing up for love nor money. Let me find you one, because we used one here. So it's these just here. So you get like these 3 pearls in this centre bit that goes into these poinsettias, and they are really beautiful, and you get 18 of those in your little pot. So they're gorgeous, gorgeous. So it is, as I say, gorgeous sweet. So let's play. No more ado. Let's play with this poinsettia, and I thought we would have some watercolour paper today. I was using some yesterday, so I thought we would use some more this morning. So let's grab our trimmer. I'm going to cut this in half. It actually measures about 17.9 or something like that. I'm going to cut it to just under 9 centimetres down the middle there to give me a little panel to work on. I'm going to grab my StazOn, and I'll go with black StazOn for this. And I'm going to use, so what you've got is you've got these 3 poinsettias here that you can use to build up a 3D flower, or you have this one just here that is a whole poinsettia. You've got these sort of leaves, holly leaves up here, this sort of pine bough just there. You've got your little berries and things. You've got your bits for the centre of your poinsettia there, but you've also got your 2-step berries just there. Some nice Christmassy greetings, and as you can see, they're a really good size. So that big poinsettia is a big stamp. Yeah, so they're a great little stamp. I'm going to take the one that is a whole poinsettia to start with. I'm going to get my stamping mat. Sorry for battering you. And I'm going to start by taking one of these poinsettias, inking it up with my StazOn. And we'll stamp that down here. Give that a good press. I'm not too worried because I am going to be watercolouring it, so I'm going to stick another one onto a post-it note because I want to cut out a mask. I'm thinking my StazOn might possibly need re-inking, and obviously watercolour card is not the easiest thing to stamp onto anyway, because it's got a bit of a textured surface, so it does always take a bit of extra stamping. Hi Glenda, I'm fine, how are you? So yes, next week, as I say, I am on holiday. I am planning to get some videos to go up for you, but I won't be coming on live next week. But then hopefully the week after we'll get back to something like normal, whatever that is. And after a week off, who knows, I may be coming back more inspired than ever. Though when you've got stamps and dies like these, it doesn't take long to come up with something that you want to do with them. Right, obviously this is a bit fiddly, but you only have to do it once, and you don't have to be too precise with it. As you can see, I've not got my snips, so these scissors aren't as good as my Stampin' Up ones. They're a bit sticky. Sticky as in, not in sticky as in gluey, but they're not opening and closing as smoothly as I would like. Let's come round here. Right, so now we have our mask, and we'll be able to use that multiple times. What I could have done was had 2 layers of post-it notes and cut 2 masks out at the same time. That would have been a good idea, but a bit late to think about it now. Let's have another poinsettia here. Obviously this is all going to look a bit weird because we've still got our mask in place, and it tends to look a bit jumbly until you can take your mask off. And we'll have one more here. And I think we'll have one no, stay. We'll have one coming in here. Then let's have a look at leaves. I'm going to come with this slightly smaller leaf, I think, and a smaller block. Let's take that off. So we've got all our poinsettias in a nice bundle just there. And we're now going to add in some leaves. That doesn't want to stick very well. It's got some powder on the back, I think. There we go. See if we can match up the mask just there, I think. Now let's have a leaf coming out there. One there. Have one coming down here. And I think one over here somewhere. It's a jigsaw puzzle. Okay, now we're going to do some colouring in, and I'm going to do that with my water brush. And I'm going to got some bumblebee here. Let's come in and do some centres with some bumblebee. So we've got some centres just here. I'm going to give those a sort of spotty look. We really do need to re-ink that stamp that stays on. But we'll just add in our little dots in the centre there. Down here. And just sort of in the background just there. Just clean off my brush on my chamois. I'm going to take a little bit of old olive, I think. Just pick up a little bit of old olive and just come around the sort of edge of that, of those spots in the middle there. This fine water brush is really, it's really fab at adding in detail. And of course now with our water brushes, our water painters, you get 3 different widths of brush. You get the really nice fat one that you can do your watercolour wash backgrounds with. You get a medium sized one, and then you get this really fine painter one. Now I've got some Merry Merlot out here, so I'm going to use my Merry Merlot, which is a nice dark, well, port wine sort of colour, hence the name. And I'm going to use that for these sort of detailed lines in here. I'm just following the artist. I don't have to be an artist because someone has got there before us. They've done all that work for us so that we don't have to. Somebody sounds as if they need some work doing on their exhaust. So watercolouring never has to be a particularly precise and round we come, round here, just picking up all of these lines. It does look very odd to start with. I always think it would be fascinating to see poinsettias growing in the wild. I'm not sure what parts of the world they grow. I've got a feeling sort of Africa. I don't know whether they're found in other parts of the world in the wild. I suppose if you're living in a hotter country, you might possibly be able to grow them in your garden. I don't think they'd be very happy with being grown in our gardens here in the UK. I don't know whether I said hello Jeanette, but hello Jeanette. We've got lots of poinsettias going on here. Right, I think that's all sort of the veins and things done. We might need to come a bit more around the edge and put a bit more detail around the edging. But, so I've just added in a bit more water to that. I'm just going to come in, sort of bring this out from the centre. and that will reactivate where we've just done the lines, and they'll blend together a little bit, but should hopefully just still stay a little bit darker. And just bringing that out from the centre. And down the bottom here. As you paint over it, if you feel it's too heavy a colour in the background, the more water you add to it, the more sort of that will blend together. Because obviously our inks are water based, so they are water activated, which makes them perfect for watercolouring with. You can also use our ink refills if you've got in a paint palette. I thought I'd bring in some cherry cobbler. Let's add some water to that. Obviously you put ink in your lids and it does dry out. To blend that together. The Merry Merlot sort of got a touch more purpley colours in it than the cherry cobbler, so it's a bit of a change of tone. Just blending that all in together. It's amazing how many colours you get in poinsettias actually. You get pinks and the whites, sort of a bit more greeny. Obviously, rather than a flower, they are sort of really leaves, aren't they, that just change to a red. So you could be adding some green into these leaves as well. The tips. I do always treat myself to one at Christmas. It never really feels quite Christmas unless I've got a poinsettia somewhere around the house. They never seem to live very long, last very long. It doesn't seem to be long before they're drooping, whether that's about the nature of the beast or whether that's my keeping of them. I'm not sure, whether I just don't look after them properly. Yeah, I'm pretty well out of water in that thing. Let me just go and pop some more water in my brush. The one thing you do have to remember about these brushes is that you have to turn them, oh, I bet you can grow them in Australia, Glenda. You have to turn them sort of counterclockwise to undo them and do them back up again. That can be a bit of a mind blower when you first get them. It's like, why can I not undo this brush, for goodness sake? And it is purely that you've not got it twisting the right way. Let's just add in some more red down here. Right, so that's our poinsettias done. Now we need to add in our leaves. I've got some mossy meadow here. Let me just clean off this brush. And we'll do the same. I'm just going to do the veins first so that I can give that a slightly more concentrated colour. That's a bit around the edges. And around here. Right, let's add in a little bit more water and let's fill in our leaves. And there we go. Yeah. I've got a whole little bundle of poinsettias there. Now I have grabbed some Misty Moonlight because I'm going to add some water into there. I am going to water that down quite a bit. And I'm just going to come in between here. And add in a bit of blue background. You didn't say that. I'm just going to, because I'm using watercolour cards, you do find that it is much easier to paint onto than even our shimmery white. But then it's watercolour card. It's created, designed, developed for you to watercolour on. So it's probably not unsurprising. It's easy to watercolour on. Right, to bring that down here. I'm not going to take it to the edge, I'm going to leave it off the edge slightly and put that to one side to dry off before I shut the lid on that. That's really rather cute. So let's have a bit of a background colour in there. I'm wondering whether we should go, let's put a pop of mossy meadow behind there. Yes, I think so. Let's do that. No, I didn't want to do that. Just having a jelly brain morning this morning, and I've got so much to do. Don't need a jelly brain morning this morning. Let's trim that off. Let's make that a mat for that to sit on. Now obviously that's going to be, do I want to bring that down a bit smaller, or am I going to have that as a, no, I think I'm going to have that as a complete mat. I have got a nice whisper white card base already cut and scored there. What I might do with that background is just give that an emboss of some sort. What should we have? Let's go with the Tasteful Textures, I think. I'm just going to emboss that with Tasteful Textures. Great little embossing folder this is. And it is a 3D one. Good stuff. Just wondering if I want any ribbon or anything with that. We'll see. I'm going to do a greeting. Now, what have we got in here? We've got May magic and wonder bloom this holiday. Warm wishes from our home to you, to yours. Thank you for making this a wonderful season. Happy holidays and a Merry Christmas. Doesn't want to be too big a one, I don't think. I quite like this warm wishes from our house to yours. Might have that as a bit of a label coming over the top there. So let's stamp that onto some Whisper White. And we'll do it in black, I think. Now what I might do, because obviously my Stays On is being a little bit in need of a re-ink, I'm just going to bring in my Stamparatus, because that means I can stamp it a second time if I want to. But I do need a mat on there because it is a photopolymer stamp. Let's pick that up. And let's give it a good ink. What's the betting? This is going to go beautifully first time. Oh, but it did move. You pickle. Did that move, or are we going to be able to stamp it a second time? Oh, that's pretty good. Warm wishes from our home to yours. Let's just trim that down. To have it coming from that side. I'm just going to snip that across there. Let's find a little bit of mossy meadow to stick that onto. Just going to move these out of the way. Pop my lid on there. I'll find my re-inker when we've finished and re-ink that Stays On. We'll pop that on there. And trim it down. Let's put some glue on the back of here. Because it's watercolour card and it will have warped slightly, I need to put plenty of glue on there and give that a good press down. Let me bring in my big block because then I can give that a good squidge. I'm going to just made a bow out of the gold thread. Just spotted my big dimensionals. That's okay, we've got some little ones on there for now. So I've got my dimensionals there. I'm just going to grab a glue dot. I'll stick that on the back there with a glue dot and have it coming in here. Oh, come here. Let me just bring these down slightly. That's obviously stuck nicely to the glue dot. That's it. Let's trim these ends off. Just stick that to that card base. Morning, Francis. Hope everything went well for you back at school this week. And then we'll have a rummage in our shiny things box. Ooh, let's go for some of the gold glimmer dots, I think. We'll just add in a few of those. Where are you? Stuck to my finger. Don't want you stuck to my finger. I want you stuck to the card. That's it. There we go. So there's a watercoloured Poinsettia card. So that's just using that big stamp, and obviously you could colour that in with your blends. You can just simply stamp it onto some coloured card and die cut it. You could stamp it onto some coloured card, die cut it, and use your watercolour pencils to add in a bit of shading and dimension. Just so much you can do. Or you could stamp out the 3 separate poinsettias and build those up. So that's the stamps. Fabulous stamps. Love, love, love them. Let's have a look at the dies. So these again are just brilliant. So you've got, this would have die cut one of these poinsettias if we'd have wanted it to. You've got this one that will die cut this little bit of foliage just here. You've got this die here that cuts out your pine boughs. But then you've got these really lovely dies. So these will die cut these, but you can also die cut and emboss, and you can do the same with the leaves. So I thought that is what we would do. We would die cut and emboss some poinsettias. If I slip it over, I've got the big one. So you've got the 3 size poinsettias in there as well. You've got some little pieces that you can do centres for your poinsettia. So we'll do that. And then you've got these foliage bits. So let's have some of that. And you've got these little poinsettias as well that are really cute. We'll have a couple of those. And I think what we'll do is we're going to have a play, and we're actually going to die cut them and emboss them in watercolour card. While we're playing with watercolour card, let's carry on and do the works. So you've got your outside and your centre, and you are able to run them through the machine at the same time. Let's put this on a plate. So daddy die, and they do only go in one way, so you do have to find the right. As if I move that around, it won't go in on every nook. There is only the one way that it will fit in. So we've got our 3 poinsettias, our 2 leaves, and here's our die pieces, our centre pieces for our leaves. Let's get that the right way round. We've got our little poinsettias that will also emboss. Let's have a bit of foliage. Might cut a second one of those, and we'll also have a centre piece. Right, so everybody's sitting in nicely. So as I have sent out my poinsettia class, or the last one needs to go into the post. Those that are local have been able to collect theirs, or I've delivered to them. But if, having seen this, you think, oh, I wish I'd done that poinsettia in a box class, Christmas in a box poinsettia class, do get in touch. I'm sure the instructions are all done now, just need printing out. It would just be bringing together your card pieces, and obviously you'll need your poinsettia dies and stamps in order to complete it. Ooh, let's pick that die up. But I'm sure we could sort something out for you. So let's bring these up, and hopefully you'll be able to see the embossed detail that you get on these die cuts. Ooh, just that one obviously didn't quite, for some reason. I think my machine is starting to lose its tension in the centre, as happens to them when they get well used and well loved. Do you think that's telling me it's time to save up for a new Stampin' Up one? Possibly. Is there somewhere where I could squeeze? That wouldn't be bad, would it? I think we'd get pretty well a whole one out of there. And if we're flower arranging, that's okay. Right. Where did my leaves go? Ah, there's one. Aha, I see you. I see you. You've fallen in the box. Okay, so let's just take our brush, and we're not going to be too fussy about this. So we've got our watercolour card, and I'm just going to... There's a mossy meadow. Look how that's popping. This one. And there's 2 leaves. Let's come in with our mossy meadow. No, our old olive, and do this one. So it's a different colour. Obviously this isn't embossed. We could have given these berries. In fact, I might go over and give them a spot of colour of some sort. Just get rid of, let me just get rid of all of my embellishments by throwing them on the floor. That wasn't what I intended. I meant to say let's get rid of the green. Just going to add in put in a bit of Merry Merlot on those dots. Do the same with this one. It's quite an almost sort of orangey colour. Just heard what sounded like a big lorry stopping outside. I'm wondering if that's my UPS delivery. I think that's due today. There we go. Those are fun. Then we've got our poinsettias themselves. Let's go really random. What colour shall we have those? I'm going to go Flirty Flamingo. We'll have a pink poinsettia because we can have what colour we like. Just going to brush that over the top. And that nice embossed detail just pops out. And just watercolouring it gives it a bit of a softer finish. Not too worried about the centre because I'm going to build the flower up. So big one. Medium size. Well, it's got a bit of green on there, but actually that's not a problem because poinsettias do have bits of green on their leaves. In fact, I might purposely add some in a minute. Yes, where the green's on the mat underneath, but actually I quite like it. Quite like that little touch of green. Let's do these little ones. To try and go round the spots in the middle because I'll add some yellow in there. And this little one. The birds are singing beautifully for us today. The sun is shining. Oh. Obviously got green on my fingers. Let's give that a wipe. Right, what did we do with our bumblebee? There it is. So I'm going to add some bumblebee into the centre of these. And in here. Take a bit of mossy meadow and come round the edge of here. I'm going to just add in a little bit mossy meadow on the ends of some of those leaves. And the little one. Okay. So these are still damp. If you were doing this at home, you might want to wait until they'd completely dried. You'd be able to shape them then and curl them a little bit more. I like that way that they've got those bits of green on. So tweak that a little bit. Got a little bit to come in the middle. We've got our leaves. We've got our sort of green foliage going on. Oh. Stay. Stick. Not to my finger, to there. I'll pop that there for a minute. Let's come in with some of this wood grain effect paper. Layer this one up. It's quite nice that you can do 2 of these at a time, so if you want more than one flower you can do. I've actually got I've got a very vanilla card base there, but I think that will work quite nicely. Going to stamp Merry Christmas in Mossy Meadow down the bottom there. And then we can arrange our flowers around it. Let's put some tombow in the back there. Like that. I'm going to put a little dimensional on the back of there. Oh. And take some linen thread, run it through my fingers because it gets a bit curly where it's been wrapped around the tube. So I've doubled that up to make a double knot. And have that just tucked under there. So quite a rustic looking card. But oh, I obviously didn't pick that up. That's what I like, is the fact that you've got some that could be have quite a modern twist. You've got some that can be really classic, some a little bit more unusual. Just thinking of all the things that I've just thrown on the floor. Thinking actually these are the in good taste elements. Do you like these? I think those will look particularly good on there because we can just add in some of these little wooden dots, which will add to that sort of rusticy feel. So we've been watercolour artists this morning. Who knew? And playing with our poinsettia stamps and dies. So if you have not got these in your collection, I strongly recommend them because they just are beautiful. Look at that embossed detail in there. Just so simple, and you could do that with just a piece of card, just emboss it. You know, if you've got your colour card, you wouldn't need to do anything else, or coloured DSPs, or just fabulous. So get them, play with them, have lots of fun. And if you're here in the UK and want to get your hands on them, then do just follow my shop links and pop them in your basket. I would love to have you shopping with me. And if you're interested in the joining offer with those 2 free stamp sets, do get in touch. Lots of goodies to be had in this beautiful month of September. So I won't be here live next week. I'll be thinking of you all, but I will be feet up. If I'm in my craft room, it'll be because I'm crafting for me. So have a lovely week next week. I will put some videos up hopefully, but I will be back a week on Monday. So be good, everyone.